Every day in the USA, people find themselves in court.
We will now take up Tori Long on the record in 2024 TR 1033, State of Kansas versus Tori Ann Long. Jared Regier appears for the state. Tori Long, are you here? Tori Long fails to appear on driving while suspended. On July 10th of 24, we had first appearance. The defendant said she did not wish to enter into diversion. She would like to speak to an attorney, but she would hire her own attorney. She was given this court date for September 16th at 9 o'clock with the order that she report for booking and processing and to be given a $1,000 bond. From my file, it looks like she did not comply with the initial order. Does anyone have any information as to whether she did? And I just don't have a copy of the bond.
Well, Your Honor, in accordance with my duty of candor as an officer of the court, I would tell the court that I do not appear to show any appearance bonds in my file. However, I am not showing any affidavits from the jail in my file either. So one way or the other, I do not believe I'm in a position to say for certain on that point.
Thank you. Court security, do you show that she ever went out and processed like I ordered her to?
Having them call out there right now and checking.
Very well. Whether she did or she didn't, she fails to appear, Mr. Regier, after personally being told to sign a bond and reappear. So recommendations at this time?
At the very least, Your Honor, 2,000 cash or surety. I will defer to the court in light of the prior statements on the record, whether a bench warrant or a bench warrant bond forfeiture is appropriate, but at the very least, 2,000 cash or surety would be the state's recommendation.
She will get a bench warrant with the $2,000 cash or surety bond. Counsel or deputy?
She did not go get processed.
All right, please put that in the docket note. She didn't go out and process. She's already failed to comply with the court order. But her bench warrant is set for 2,000 cash or surety. Nothing further. We'll be in recess on Tori Long.
And Judge, I just wanted to inform the court that I am back. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Canfield. Did we announce the case on this, or did we go directly into that evaluation?
Probably went directly to the evaluation, Judge.
All right, we're on the record in 2024 TR 1818, State of Kansas versus Katherine A. Swan, Devin Canfield for the state, Darren Patterson for the defendant, who appears in person as well. Mr. Patterson, before we officially went on the record. Okay, whoever just called in on the iPhone, you need to mute.
Okay, sorry.
In the middle of a hearing, thank you. Before we went on the record, Mr. Patterson, you said your client wishes to plead to count 1, driving under the influence, and the state will dismiss count 2.
Yes, Your Honor, and this would be a plea of guilty.
The plea of guilty, and does the state agree that that's your agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
Agree that's your agreement? Okay. Ms. Swan, that's your agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
How do you plead then to count 1, driving under the influence of alcohol or drugs on July 6th, 2024?
Guilty, ma'am.
Like two different species, still the same. We're like Jekyll and Hyde, like Batman and Bruce Wayne. We're like fire and water, we're like sugar and salt. We're like everything
anyone else you show that I did not call, Mr. Regier?
Not to my knowledge, Your Honor, although there does appear to be one remaining individual currently on the Zoom conference besides myself and other individuals who are traditionally appear on these dockets.
I do see a woman with the name Tori Long on her screen. I called the name Tori Long quite some time ago. No one answered. A bench warrant was issued with bond set at $2,000 cash or surety. Who are you, ma'am? I read your lips, but for the record, we need you to
I'm
unmute.
sorry, it was on mute. I'm Tori Long. I called, I thought my court date was on the 17th, and I called today, and she said that you guys were in session and that I could come in. So I just did what I was supposed to do. I thought it was tomorrow, not today.
No, what you were supposed to do was be here at 9 today.
Yeah, I thought it was tomorrow. That was my mistake. I've been going through a
That was
lot.
a mistake that got you a warrant issued for your arrest. So you must be mindful of those mistakes when you
Yes, ma'am.
write down your court dates and watch your calendar.
Yes, ma'am.
What is that on your neck that the tattoo say?
Savage. You got it when I
Or
was younger.
Savage?
Yeah, I had a friend die, and we got matching tattoos, so it was a while ago.
I presume it was before the friend died that you got the matching tattoos?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, in any event, what are you going to do about this driving while suspended charge?
Well, I was gonna ask for a continuance. Obviously, I was late and I didn't know that. I'm working. I have a thing from Sedgwick County, the theft package. Somebody stole my identity, bought a car, got a ticket. I had my license, but because of whoever stole my identity, they got this and that, and I didn't know my license was suspended. And then when I got pulled over, that's when I found out my license was suspended. And so I've been working with Wichita trying to do that with my identity theft, trying to figure out what was going on with that. I tried to renew my license. I couldn't because I have to pay off like a debt collector of something that they got under my name. And so I've been having a hard time getting my license because of that. I have to pay off all this money for this car that they bought and a house that they got and all these things. And I'm just trying to work through it and figure it out to get my license started again. So that's where I'm at with that. I've been working for, it seems like a month now, trying to figure out how to get through it, who it is, what they bought, where they bought it from. And it's not easy. Really not easy.
So they've accomplished all of this in a month, or you just found out about it a month ago?
No, I just found out about it when I got the ticket for driving on suspended. I went to the license place to go figure out what was going on with my license. They told me it was suspended a couple of years ago for somebody getting pulled over using my ID. And so I just went from there. So from there, I did a police report about it. I got the police report number, and then they sent me the theft packet, and I've just been like working through the theft packet, trying to fill that out and take the steps so I can figure out what I can do.
Okay, so you got the driving while suspended in Wichita 2 years ago?
For this one or the one that they got?
I'm talking about the one that you're telling me about.
Okay, yeah, the one that they got. Yeah, I guess it was 2 years ago at some time. I'm still trying to figure out all the details about it because I didn't even know it existed until I was trying to figure out this stuff for you guys. And then that's when I figured it all. I had no idea that my identity was even stolen.
All right, so are you telling me all of that to tell me that this driving while suspended in Butler County on December 19th, 2024 was not you?
No, that was me. I just didn't know that my license was already suspended because of somebody else. So that was me driving. I just didn't know my license was suspended. And so I was just gonna.
All right, well, I guess, they send those notices of suspension to the last address you report on your driver's license.
I don't.
Did your impersonator also send their address to driver's license so you wouldn't have gotten the notice?
I do believe that we have figured out that I was in an organization. It's called the New Life Reentry Program. It's a women's group for women that get out of prison, and it's kind of like sober living, but it's just for women that get out of prison, have somewhere to go to restart their life. And basically, what we're going for is that they're an organized crime, and that they have been using all the women's like info that they get for us signing up for the group and stuff, and using it as identity fraud for apparently about 10 years now. So it's a really difficult thing to really understand.
And you said they bought a house in your name?
Yeah.
You must have had good credit.
They must have made good credit for me
I
to
guess.
buy this.
All right. Well, Mr. Regier, here we go again. Someone claiming that they're not the defendant. So it might be one of those that the video could make a lot of difference in if we go to trial, but she hadn't told us she wants to go to trial.
No, I was definitely I definitely was the one that got pulled over this time. That was me.
My mistake. Okay, but you're saying you weren't the one that got suspended.
That was them. I had no idea.
Tell you what, I think you need an attorney. You haven't told me that you want an attorney. You've been told that you can hire an attorney or apply for court appointed.
I would like to get a court appointed because I can't afford an attorney now because
You
I've
told
been
me
paying.
July 10th you were going to hire an attorney.
And I talked to them, but I just, after I figured out all this stuff, I had to pay off all these fines.
Okay,
And
which attorney did you talk to?
my attorney was, it's on my phone and I can't get off of it to look.
Okay. Was it an attorney out of Wichita?
Yeah.
All right. Where do you work now?
I was working for a hospice care, and that's also what I lost my job. I don't have a job now. I lost my job because I can't drive. I sold my car because I can't drive because of the driving on suspended.
So how long has it been since you had a job that paid?
Like 2 months.
Okay. Who pays your bills?
I don't have them. I had to move in with my stepdad.
Okay. So that's your stepdad's house you're calling from?
Yeah.
And he's paying your bills right now, food and rent?
Yep.
Children?
Yes, I have a son.
How old's your son?
He just turned 6 months.
And is he living with you and your dad or stepdad too?
Yeah.
Does the father help pay the child's bills?
No.
I'm going to appoint Attorney Darren Patterson. Call his office after the lunch hour and give them your contact. I'm ordering you to do that today.
Okay.
Must be back here December 9th at 8 a.m. by Zoom. But you must call Mr. Patterson today if you want to continue on that OR bond.
Okay.
You didn't even go out and get it, did you? Did you go out and sign your bond?
No one told me I had to go out and sign any bond.
Yeah, I did. July 10th, 2024. I told you to go through the booking and processing, to go into the breakout.
Oh, yes.
room with
I
the
talked to the
$1,000
lady.
OR bond.
I talked to the lady and she told me that I could wait because I have a situation with my son. She said she likes to schedule it at least a little bit before the trial. But my son was in the ER. I'm not gonna lie, I spaced the fingerprints off. That was my bad. I've had a lot going on. I just had to move out of my house with my dad. So I've just been really busy and I'm just doing the best I can.
So you spaced out court this morning. You spaced out my order to go get your prints taken. Who was the woman that told you didn't have to do it?
I called I think it was the sheriff's office or the Butler County office where they do the fingerprints, and I talked to some lady.
Some lady at some office that you don't know what it was told you did not have to comply with the court's order.
She said that she's okay with me coming in at a later date.
She's okay with you coming in at a later date.
I guess so. I did what I was supposed
She
to.
didn't run it past me. Whoever she is and whatever she told you. So you're already in contempt of court for not taking care of your processing, for not being to court on time. Where's your stepfather's house located?
In Hillsborough.
Hillsborough, Kansas.
Yep.
You don't have a license.
No,
Who drives you around when you need to go someplace?
I don't really go anywhere now. And my dad.
And you didn't go in and get your processing. Why?
I just had my baby, and he was sick, and we had to go to the baby NICU because he couldn't breathe and his oxygen was low. And so I was in the NICU for 3 days, and then we got to go home, and then I had to move out of my apartment the next day, and then my dad obviously had to help me move all my stuff to his house in Hillsborough, and then
So tell me about your dad. How old is he? Where does he work? Does he work?
yeah, he works at the name of the company is the name of the company is Fleming's Inc. It's plumbing, heating, and air conditioning in Marion County.
Is he home now?
No, he's at work.
What time does he get off work?
4:30.
Mr. Regier, does the state wish to be heard on this matter?
Well, Your Honor, in accordance with my duty of candor as an officer of the court, notwithstanding the allegations raised by the defense, I have no personal knowledge as to that, nor as to nor am I showing any documentation in my file with support of that. What I can tell the court is that I am showing that the court did enter its orders over 2 months ago, back on July 10th. And when the court took up this matter earlier in today's docket, where the court made a finding that the defendant failed to appear, the court had already entered its orders in this matter.
If Miss Long, you had done what I told you to do 2 months ago and posted your bond, I would have been grumpy, but I would have said, okay, I'll set aside the $2,000 bench warrant. But because you didn't do that, and you had, apparently whoever this woman was that said, I take into consideration your emergency situation. I'm going to give you a few more weeks, as long as we get it done before court. If you'd done that, I would have been grumpy, but I would have said, okay, I'll set aside the warrant. But you didn't. So I'm not going to set aside the warrant. You need to turn yourself in to local law enforcement. Mr. Regier, we need to get that paperwork done ASAP. And Miss Long, you need to turn yourself in. So I get your pictures and prints taken as required by Kansas law. So
Okay.
I get your bond on you. And I get a bondsman willing to bring you in when you forget you have court.
I've never missed a court date ever in my life. I've never
How many
ran
court
or
dates
anything.
have you had in your life?
Like 3.
Well, those are my orders, and you can turn yourself into, let's see, are you in Marion County or not, are you?
Yeah, that's where. No, I'm in Hillsborough County.
Is that a county?
I think so. Well, I think it's considered Marion County. Yeah, it's just a little town outskirts of it.
Well, I know Hillsborough, but I just couldn't remember what county it's in. You need to turn yourself in.
Okay, then what will happen? Because I'm the only one that's here for my kid.
Well, you better get someone to take care of your child.
Am I going to be able to bond out?
I've set the bond. All right. So that's it, Miss Long. You've got to learn to start being more mindful of some of these things. There's
Your
nothing
Honor,
further, Mr. Regier?
Your Honor, is the court maintaining the
Yes.
December 9th date in this matter?
Oh, the December date?
Yes, Your Honor.
I will, but if she turns herself in, she may get an expedited date.
Very good, Your Honor.
All right, we'll be in recess. I believe this docket is completed, everyone.
So where do I turn myself in at?
Well, why don't you start by calling your attorney? You can turn yourself in to any law enforcement officer.
Okay,
All right.
all right.
Recess. Thank you.